Day. It's time for the beBOLD podcast. beBOLDyou with Cyndilu. Da, 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 da. I might have just created my new intro. I don't know.
There you go.
I do my own music. I don't have to worry about copyrights because it wasn't even in existence 2 seconds ago. It's all good. Hey, welcome to the beBOLDyou podcast with Cyndilu. And my guest today is Melissa of Hopeful Simplicity. Yeah. Tell me more about that. Oh, wait, we're doing a whole podcast about that, aren't we? Okay, well, in case people don't know me, first, I probably should introduce myself. I'm the creator and founder of the beBOLDyou Personality Expressions. It's a system that will help you in becoming bold you. And if you have not yet bought the book, what are you waiting for? Go get it. It's over on Amazon, Becoming Bold You. And I will put a link in the comments after the show. If I remember, if I don't remember, you just put a link there saying, or put a comment there saying, hey, I thought you were going to put a link here, and I'll put it there. Okay. Enough about me. I'm in New Zealand, and my guest today is coming to us all the way from the other side of the planet. Yeah. Melissa, I would love for you to introduce yourself more to the folks and let people know who you are, what you do, who you help, all those things. You know all those things we've been practicing?
All those things. Yes, ma'am. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to connect with you, and now we get to be bold together. So yay. I am Melissa. I am the owner and creator of Hopeful Simplicity, which is simply a less stressed lifestyle option that focuses on organizing. Now, being a mom, entrepreneur, and employee, we just do this in 15 minutes a day, one small space at a time, because nobody's got more time than that. And so I help people shift the overwhelm of it's all on me when it comes to home management toward a home team we for success. Over time, you're going to take that journey. It's a hopeful journey toward saving time, saving money, and living less stressed. That's me.
Oh my gosh, where were you when I had children?
Wait, I was learning.
You were one. You would have been one when I had children. You would have been one of those children. Not one of mine. I mean, a child. Never mind. We'll just keep going. We are leaning on laughter today.
You know, we need it.
Yeah. So I start all my shows of late with these 10 questions that help people to get to know you a little bit more. And then we'll talk more about Hopeful Simplicity. Can I just say how excited I am that you have that in your thing so I can remember how to say it? Okay. There's a reality here. All right. So the first question is, do you have a favorite color?
It's red.
Red. That was immediate. Gosh. I think everybody who has red as a favorite color, it is an immediate response.
Yep.
Yep. Are you more introverted or extroverted?
Oh, I love this question because I'm an introverted extrovert. So anytime I have to do shows or, out time of conventions or anything like that, because I'm, I love going to a good con. I always plan a day for my introvert self for the couch.
After.
Yes. Yep. I need that introverted of everybody leave me alone and I need quiet time for sure.
Yeah. So you're probably actually more introverted, but you're just very outgoing in your introvertedness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you enjoy going to things that are happening that are out there in the world. Do you have a quote or phrase that encourages you the most?
You mean other than stay hopeful?
Yeah, right? Stay hopeful. I love that quote. Every time you say it, I'm like, yes, yes.
No, I mean, stay hopeful is pretty, I think it's very me. Sometimes it's stay happy, healthy, and hopeful.
Nice.
I think that's pretty me.
I like happy, healthy, and hopeful. I could use a little of that today. I'll take it. So, what energizes you?
Naps.
Yes, you are my sister.
I took one just before this. I'm like, I've got a couple hours. I'm just gonna just a minute or 12 or 60.
45-minute cycles, I've heard. And I actually, when I switched to 45-minute cycles about a year ago now, I heard that and I thought, I'm going to try it. 45-minute cycles have been working for me so well. I'll sleep 45 minutes or I'll sleep an hour and a half. And it's super working. I'll set the alarm, right? For 45 or for 90.
Now, how does that start? Like if it takes you time to fall asleep?
I don't worry about that. I let that part of it go.
Okay. I have to try that.
We have a viewer from Pakistan.
That's
For those
amazing.
who are listening to this as a podcast, this was recorded live on Facebook, and you can go over and see it and check it all out. All righty. So we had the energy. Naps. I love that. Have you had a favorite age?
I kind of like right now.
That's a good age. Right now is always a good age, and you're always that age.
Well, I turned 40 this year, and everybody tells you, oh, it's all downhill from there. And I'm like, no.
No, just
we're going to go uphill. So I kind of embrace the aging. It's kind of like wine.
It's really funny because some people think, it's all downhill after 40, but actually it isn't. I mean, for so many people, it's the beginning of what they're going to do in the rest of their lives. They've been the parent. They've been focused on their kids. They've been focused on their career, because some of them are switching at 38, 39, 40 to becoming the parent. Like they've had the career and now but there's this transition that happens between like 37 and 42. That 5-year transitional time, a lot of people are transitioning those times, and those people really benefit from the book Becoming BOLDyou. Did you see how I threw that in there?
I did.
I didn't mean to.
It'll be in the links or comments. Be sure to check it out.
Are you more of a book reader or song listener?
Yes.
So give us a favorite book or a favorite song that you want to share with people, or one of each.
I don't know.
Love that answer.
Books for me are genre, like what am I in the mood for? Am I in the mood to take a twist of the story, like a twisted Cinderella story type thing? Or am I in the mood to meet somebody's person, like, More Myself by Alicia Keys? Those are, which mood am I in today? I always have a book, at least one, and I'm almost always listening to one in the car. But then music for me is a release. So I will turn it up and I am on that stage in my head, whether I'm driving a car or doing the dishes. It's that release of noise that I need. So yes to both.
Yes to both. And did you say that More Myself is a book by Alicia Keys?
Yeah.
Sweet. Be getting to Audible today.
Yeah. Right. And I loved her before that. And then I read that, and I read it probably every year now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I read Essentialism every year.
I don't know that.
Such a good book. Oh, you put that book down, because that book is in such alignment with what you do, girl.
Is it essential?
It is essential that you read Essentialism. You will find so much content in that book to help you put it out into the world. It will be amazing. What is the most exotic place you've ever been? And if you've never traveled anywhere, then you get to say, like, the bedroom. No. Did I say that out loud?
And we're done. You in the bedroom. No. So I was fortunate to travel as a child a lot. So, I mean, we went to Yugoslavia when I was 10, and we went to the Cayman Islands when I was young. So I was very blessed to see beautiful things you won't find in Midwest Indiana. Like, yeah.
Wow. Do you have a favorite of where you go, or somewhere you want to go back to because you want to see more of it?
I want to see all the oceans. You're actually where I want to go first, because The Hobbit was filmed in New Zealand. So that's kind of definitely on my nerd need to go list, and the fact that I will be near the ocean and I have to go across it. Yeah, that's definitely
a long ways across it.
Yeah, like the whole
hours and hours and hours across it. And the mountains here in the Fjordland that are the ones they show a lot in the video. They're not the ones from the North Island, but the ones from the South Island that are all covered with moss. It really is looking like that. Like, it really looks like that. Every tree, there's like 300 different types of moss up in these mountains. I mean, it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Absolutely amazing. And then you look out and you see the sounds where the mountains and the water come together, and it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we'll take you there. When you make it here, we will take you there.
Okay.
Okay. Do you create to live or live to create?
Yes. Do I create to live or live? Oh, you put it right there. Do I create to live or live to create? I think it's all of the above.
Yeah, I figured you'd be a both, since you're my sister, because I like do both.
Right. And naps,
And naps. That's right. Creating and naps. That's all life is. I mean, life is so happy. If I could just create and take naps and do nothing else, my life would be full of such joy. Oh my goodness. Who has been your greatest influence? They can be dead or alive.
Like someone I knew or someone I aspire to be, other
Can
than
be either.
Cyndilu.
Other than me.
Oh goodness. I don't know. I feel like my mom's mom was definitely one of those fierce. Anytime all my colors shine bright and people are like, gracious, what's wrong with her? I'm like, that's all right. I get it naturally. But then at the same time, the people that, the Lucille Balls of the world that, were the first of their industries are very influential for me too.
I love it. Lucille Ball is one of my favorite people to watch.
I love her book too. Love Lucy.
I haven't got that one either. I need to start reading biographies. I've not been reading biographies. I need to start reading them. One word that describes you best.
Come on now, Cyndilu. What is that one word?
Hopeful?
I think so.
I love that. I know. I shouldn't even have asked that question. Like, that's the one I accidentally deleted before the show. And I'm like, I need to put all my questions back. I'm going to forget it. No, didn't need to. Did not need to. Okay, so I ask all of my people, if I could only ask you one question, what would that be? And what you sent me was, all of my people, I mean, everybody I'm interviewing, what started my hopeful journey? So what started your hopeful journey?
I was asked, what's for dinner?
What?
Mm-hmm. That was the question that sent me over the edge. I was tired of being asked, where's this? What's that? Managing all those people, places, and things. I was just done.
Tell me more about that.
So I am a mom. And at the time I was doing the co-parenting and blending families. I'm a full-time employee. I was starting my own business and I was struggling with sinus pressure and sickness regularly. And one day I was asked, what's for dinner? And I snapped. I literally didn't care. I was angry. I was resentful. I was like, how come no one else can form a thought in this house and handle one thing, like figuring out what they want to eat? And so from there, snapping, reaching that point of, I don't want to be an angry person all the time. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be ugly when I come home. I don't want to not want to come home. Things had to change. And so we had some conversations of like, okay, well, how are we all going to plan the week? How are we all going to know where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there, and what we need to have when we get there? And I mean, that's kind of how Hopeful started to bloom and flourish, because it was literally one small thing at a time.
So tell me about one small thing at a time. Like, what does that mean? How does that work? I'm sitting in my office.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's watching. And for those, again, who are listening to this, remember this is recorded live on Facebook. So she's put a comment in here, and I don't edit these if I can help it. So She has written, I mean, she's seen my office. Sorry, let me back up. Hope you all fast forwarded to that spot. I'm sitting in the middle of my office and she's seen it, and she's seen it when it was somewhat organized. And if she saw it now, she would see that I have lost it all. Like all the organization that was here. My office becomes that place where when we don't know where to put it and it's in the lounge and somebody's coming over in the living room lounge.
It's your hiding hole.
They throw it in my office because there's an empty space, because I clean my office from time to time. So it becomes this space. I did keep it longer this time than before, like 2 or 3 months this time before I lost it, but I've lost it again. So how do I do this a little at a time and feel like I'm staying ahead of anything?
One day I'm going to give all the pins a home. Another day, all the Post-its are going to find a home. For me, it was one day I'm going to start winning. And I started making my bed every single morning. That was it. That was all I focused on for a week. You know, so if you're in your office, all my pins are going to go. This is their home. Every day I'm going to make sure their pins go in their home.
See, but it's not my stuff that I'm having the problem with. It's all the other stuff that gets put in here.
It's still your space that you're trying to maintain. I don't know. Yeah. I would have some ugly conversations.
Maybe I'm not in it enough.
Maybe you're not in it enough. Oof. Do you have more time than that, though?
Ooh, no. I think I just hit on that. Like, I'm not in it enough. I'm working in the winter. I lose it every winter. I didn't notice that until now. In the winter, my office becomes my couch. And that was one of the things I definitely wanted to cover with you, so this works, that I actually put in the description of this podcast. Like, do you feel like you're working at home and you've got all your stuff, you've got all your office stuff, you've got all your kids' stuff, you got, you know, all the schooling stuff, you have everything, and then you are like, on top of it, you got your regular stuff, and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Chaos all the time.
Yeah. So how can people start with one thing that they can do to help that office encroachment chaos to go away a little?
Encroachment chaos. So we are big on zoning and boundaries. So if this is the zone, this is my biggest pain point zone, I'm going to set a hard boundary to it. So say the kitchen table, for you, your desk, for you, your office. Okay, between these and these hours, no, this is a no drop zone. Sorry. You'll have to put it in its new home. And so even if that's outside of your office, girl, you know I love labels. Outside of your office, you have a drop box. I have a client that's got, you know, a couple kids and a partner. And so everybody's got a drop box. So, all of Susie's stuff landed here. Why is it here? I'm not going to go put it away, but I'm going to get it out of my space so I can be productive, and it's in their box.
A drop zone.
A drop zone. Yeah. So like if everybody's got a box outside of your office, because this is your office, this is where you need to come to be less stressed and successfully productive. So if you have a box or cube or a drop zone for everybody that drops the stuff in there you go. I'm just going to throw all your crap there. A lot of people, it happens on the stairs. You'll find a basket on each step. So all the toys that came down go in their bin. All the shoes that didn't make it to your room go in their bin. You're not putting it away, but you are compromising to a system to get it out of your space.
Yeah, I think there just needs to be more conversations about let's not bring things in.
Yeah, and conversations are hard. They really, really are, because then people get on the defense about, so I see I'm a problem for you. I'm encroaching in your space. So I'm stressing you out. No. I just need your support in this zone so I can be focused and productive.
Yeah. I'm like,
you have your face thinking like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really in the overwhelm stage. The chaos has become overwhelmed. We have construction happening in every space. like literally every space.
Oof.
On top of my
Like,
husband being, slower at things than normal,
yeah.
because literally he's physically slower than normal. Even if he tries to move top speed, his top speed is not our top speed, nor is it anywhere close to what his used to be. His mind, however, still thinks he can do it all in the same time frame.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, I think, and it's not conversations with him so much as the support staff that I have around to help me to realize that he can't do it.
Yeah.
So I need them to help me to do it.
Yeah. They're there to
Yeah.
support you. We just need to figure out that compromise where everybody's winning in the situation. But at the same time, it's a journey, right? You're not going to have a conversation and it's not going to magically be done. You're in a suck part of transition right now.
Yeah.
So making sure you are checking in and giving yourself grace. You know what? It's not going to be perfect every day and it's not going to change overnight. But in a year's time, this is my goal.
Yeah, I think I get excited and I want to change it immediately. Like I want to fix it all today. I've done the same thing with rebuilding my podcast. Like I'm rebuilding this podcast onto a new server. And I accidentally deleted the whole thing from my server, from my host, and couldn't get back the same URL. So since the RSS feed's going to change irregardless, I just went with a new server. And I'm rebuilding. It's happening. And when I started doing it, I'm like, I'm going to do this all by the end of tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
No. But I dedicated 30 whole minutes to it today. Good job,
Yeah.
self.
Yeah. I need to take off smaller chunks.
Yes. And you need to give yourself the great job. You took a smaller chunk. I got rid of this one little post-it today. I did my research. Woo!
I know I don't celebrate life enough and celebrate the little things that we get done.
Mm-hmm.
How do you suggest people start celebrating getting that drawer cleaned out? I'm really good at drawers, actually. I will do the drawers 27 times and not do the rest of the room. Who does this? I do this.
Everybody does. You're not alone. Here's the thing, like it's that line of being productive versus being busy. I'm great at being busy. I can create Canva art all day long and it's going to be pretty and it's going to be, organized in the right colors and all the things, but I'm busy because I don't want to eat that frog just yet. That whole elephant, that's a lot. So recognize it. You recognize you will organize the same drawer every day because it's easy, because it's busy, because it's fun, because it's pretty. Whatever that is that clicks for you, you got to recognize it.
It's not the same drawer, but it is.
But it's the drawer systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the drawers that other people put things into, because when I organize a drawer, I put things back in the same spot, but others don't.
Right.
And that's been my transition, is how do you live with others who don't have the same
style,
yep. Who aren't taking the time to learn where you want them to put things, or who are forgetting because they're only there once a week and it's too much for them to come and ask me every single time, and I'm busy and I'm taking off time while they are here.
Yeah.
So I think we're back to labels, Sarah.
We're back to labels, but also what you said just then of I'm teaching, or right, they aren't doing it like I would do it. Okay, well, how would they do it? If it's something that you're both going to manage, how would they set it up for success? I've tried
that, but there's 7 people. But there's 7 people.
That's okay. You're going to find the one with the simplest style. And most of the time, that's going to be like labels and a macro system. So where you and I would be like,
I think I'm sorry, I'm totally over talking you.
Your system's not right.
I think my systems are easy.
I know. I think my systems are easy too, but then my 12-year-old comes in the room and I'm like, why can't you just put it away how it's supposed to be put away? But he's 12. It's not his style. But when I put things for his success, for his maintenance, for his brain, damn, now I have free time.
Yeah.
So you need to ask them, this is how we have it. How can we, shift this for easier for you to maintain?
Which I've done with some of them, but then the other ones come in and they can't maintain it. So I really wanted, everybody thought we were doing a podcast, but really what we're doing is we're digging into my crap.
I'm for it.
Because I think this is really going to help people
to
like see, especially if you've got other people coming into the house.
Yeah.
And I think labels is the thing, and I'm going to have to like do it. And why am I against it? Because the church had labels and all the drawers had, the forks go here, the spoons go here, whatever. And I'm like, I don't want this to be an organization. I want it to be my home.
It is. We had labels on my door when I stopped putting the dishes away. We labeled every cabinet. Like the outside of the cabinet, just like a little piece of, what is that, like masking tape?
Painter's tape or work.
Yeah. That way, dishes, cups. It drove me crazy. But the weight it came off of my stress load, the free time it gave me, and the knowledge of, okay, I don't have to handle it all. I can deal with a little label.
Yeah. I mean, I've certainly let go of a lot and done things the way that they do them because it's easier than fighting the battle.
Yep.
And if I can live with it, I deal. I do. I do think we need to get rid of a lot of stuff. So let's talk about that piece of just the whole process. How do you pick what you keep and what you get rid of?
We struggle. That is a struggle because we are consumers, especially in the world we live in now. Everything makes your life easier and this is going to change everything. And no. So you recognize your habits. I had an apple peeler corer thing. Every day I would reach for the paring knife just the same.
It's so funny. My brothers, I have to back up for just a minute because my brother's on here saying mom had labels. Yes, mom had labels and she was such a Nazi about it. And that's probably the other reason that I am a bit resistant to labels.
You have some unpacking to do there.
Yes.
And that's couch therapy time. Back to the kids.
I just think it's funny that he's on here saying, mom had labels. She did. But things were put where she wanted them.
You have to give them tools to succeed.
Not always, but we tried.
You tried.
We did our best. Okay, so choosing what you get rid of.
Oh, right. So choosing what you get rid of is, if you need it, you're going to know it. But we justify things because, I spent money on it. You're never going to use it. You haven't used it yet. You already spent the money. It's just bothering you, right? Like that size 2 dress I'm never going to get into again is just stressing me out every time I see it. Just let it go. We are natural problem solvers, and the too much stuff takes that ability away from us.
I'm ready to let it go. And then you get but you could sell that and make some of the money back.
Give yourself a date. So we have a system. Here's the box. If I don't sell it or have a garage sale by this date, I'm not going to open the box again. It's just going to go in the car to get rid of. So great. Let's sell it. How long do you need to get? 30 days. You ain't getting more than 30 days. Put it up on your marketplace or your Craigslist or your whatever works for your system. And if it's not gone by then, you have an expired date, basically. And so that's how it is. Even if you're not sure on something, whether you're going to sell it or not, that's a moot point. But you're like, I just don't know. Okay, good. I'm going to put it in a temporary home, not in the everyday space. And we have a lot of this with people that are, like have moved house or lost partners or changed lifestyles, things like that. They're just not ready to say goodbye to stuff yet. Awesome. You're human. That's fine. Give it a home. A temporary home labeled with a date and out of the space. So if you are going through your clothes, and I'm never going to wear them again because I like snacks, but they're going to go in this bin and they're going to get labeled. And if I don't need to go to that bin and actually make the effort to find that one top I think I may want later on, that way it's not gone. You don't have to say goodbye just yet, but give it an expired date. The same with like memory things. Memory things are the hardest. But the people that gave you that, they don't want to stress you out. They really don't. They want you to cherish their memories and love it. Everybody's got too much stuff. I wish we had too much stuff. We have 4 or 5 much stuff. I don't understand.
Massive amounts of extra stuff. Like,
oh, yeah, 4 or 5.
Not like 2 of them, like 4 or 5 times, like on the borderline or into the area of hoarding.
That happens. It happens. I helped clients and they have like multiples of the same thing. And I'm like, you've only got the 2 hands. What do you need 4 things for? What do you're never going to use that much of one thing. You're never going to use 12 pots and pans at once. You only got like the 4 burners. What are you going to do with 12? So it's hard, but if you have a duplicate or something that you're going to use instead of, give yourself that mercy to have some space. Visual stuff is just mental weight. The more stuff you see, the more stressful it is. And then that's just more clutter in your mind. Where if you get rid of that, now your space is lighter and your being is lighter and your mental is lighter. That's totally worth it.
Totally. I would agree. Now, if I can get everybody else on board, I think it's coming to the point where I don't care. Like, I'm just going to start getting rid of it. Well, I did a little last night. I did 5 minutes.
Good job. High five. See, that's it, though. You did 5 minutes. Is that okay? Good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. 5 minutes before I went to bed, I said, I'm gonna clean out this bowl because I had a bowl with stuff in it that I'm like, why is all this stuff in this bowl? Like, doesn't even go. Why is this here? Nothing I put in there. So why it's there is because it basically became like they're creating their own zones, right? They're creating their own drop zones. So I guess if I created a drop zone, then I would have to then be sure I went through that drop zone. Oh,
why? Why do you have to go through it? Like,
nobody else
creating a drop zone?
The staff.
Oh, okay.
They're finding stuff on the counter or here, there, or everywhere.
Okay. So they're finding stuff and being like, well, this doesn't have it home. I don't know where the home is.
So then they pull a bowl out and throw it all in the bowl in an attempt to make the counter cleaner.
And so then you need to schedule an hour each week to go through the bowl. It's like holding yourself accountable to your calendar.
Time to the bowl.
This is your bowl time.
Garage. Tell me more about that, Sarah McCall. Garage. Yeah, a lot of stuff goes in other places and it just doesn't get back there. And I know it's not getting back there.
One step.
Yeah.
You got to have the conversations and see if one common thing can't find a new home.
She's giving me labels. She's giving me box labels. She's giving me ideas for box labels.
Oh my gosh.
Sarah, garage, bathroom. What else is she saying? They can come up with the labels. Tools and other bits.
If only you knew somebody that would had labels with macro zones.
Oh, look at that. Is that something we can get on your website?
That's something I can send you. That's something my clients get.
Oh, that's a cool thing. That sounds fun. Yeah. So do you go over that with your clients then to discover what is needed for their zones, or do you have basic zones that you send to everybody?
I have macro zones that I present to everyone, as well as blank label options. It's all the same size and color, of course, because, well, hello. But they're macro zones because I feel like we teach compromising And we teach compromising, organizing to the simplest person. The simplest person is not going to be me. It's not going to be the me of the household because I'm going to have little bitty details. Like it's going to be paper clips and push pins and rubber bands instead of office supplies.
Yeah, of course it is going to be. Why would you not do it that way? I think our systems are simple.
Right? Our systems are simple for our wired brains. So that's why I present macro
Maybe a
categories.
bit too detailed, but definitely simple.
Yeah. Well,
like things with like things.
For us. Yeah. That's see, you're the perfect example why I give you macro category ideas.
I love it. Oh my gosh, too funny. I'm cracking up. Oh, all right. Well, we're already 35 minutes in, girl. What else do you want to cover that I maybe haven't asked you because I haven't asked you? Not for any other reason, just because I haven't asked it yet.
Yeah. So another thing we cover in a major aspect of the hopeful lifestyle are habits.
Right. So stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. So you're teaching a lifestyle and habits. You're not teaching organization. Organization is a piece of the lifestyle and the habits. Am I right?
Yeah. Organization is the focus of the lifestyle.
Right. But it's a lifestyle and habits that you're teaching. It's not actually organization. Organization is a piece of that.
Yep.
And you teach that as one of the things that helps you to have a lifestyle that you actually want.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Back to wherever you were.
Right.
Carry on.
I feel like I will happily come in and put all your stuff in matching boxes with perfect labels, and there'll be probably boxes inside of boxes. I will happily take your money to organize your space. But I am doing you a disservice in my hopeful teachings to not be like, okay, well, here's how we're going to maintain it. So if you're in a habit of throwing your trash on the floor instead of the trash can, it does me no good to come in and put all your stuff in the trash can until we address the why do we have this habit and what good habit are we swapping in for the bad one.
Have you ever heard of the book Sidetracked Home Executives?
No.
I was thinking you probably hadn't, because it's a book I read in like the 70s or 80s, early 80s. Sidetracked Home Executives. And at the very beginning of the book, they're talking about looking at, what are you going to do every day and making sure you're doing activities. And in there, there's this conversation about, do you reuse your tea bags? And the lady's like, well, no, I don't. Well, then why are they lined up here on the counter? Because she'd make a cup of tea and just naturally put it on the back of the counter till, I don't know if it was the end of the day, I don't know when they ever threw the tea bags away. But there was just like this little line of them. Like she just didn't take them and throw them in the trash or put them. She's like, then why are you holding these? She's like, I don't know. It's just a habit.
Yep. If you have a habit of setting the peanut butter on the shelf instead of putting it in the bin, why? I am chaos.
So the definition by Sarah McCall for chaos, which she may have heard somewhere else, I'm not sure, maybe she came up with on her own, is can't have anyone over syndrome. I can sort of relate. That is when your house is in chaos, you don't want to have people come over. So to switch your habits over so that you can freely have somebody come over is a good idea.
See, my house is pretty organized. Like you could come in and probably run it, but I still don't want people to come over.
Like, I had to let that go. I had to let that one go, girl.
Yeah.
Big time.
That's my introvert coming out. I'd be like, no, I've already sat down for the day. Please don't knock on the door.
You know what, Sarah? It could be part of, isn't that part of Sidetracked Home Executives? It probably is what their chaos was, yes. Can't have anyone come over. Yeah, I think it was. It's been a long time since I read that book. The 80s were a few years ago. How old are you? What year were you born, Melissa? You said 40, so it's pretty much 40 years ago. Yeah.
It's like my lifetime ago.
It was probably about the time you were born that I was literally reading that book. Actually, it was exactly the year you were born that I started reading that book.
Yeah.
It helped me. It did help. It did help. Okay. So habits. We're back there. Well, I keep interrupting you with other things. Shifting habits is a journey, right? Like it doesn't happen instantly. That lady with the tea bags, she had to like physically say to herself every time she went to make a cup of tea and didn't put that. I can't put that here. I've got to put it somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. So habits are simply recognizing them and then swapping them for a better one.
That is so key. Swapping your habits for a better one. Do not try to delete your habit because it will not work.
No.
You have to replace the habit with another habit.
Yeah. Because you've got to fill that void with something. It's like people that, stop smoking and then start eating because their hands need something to do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about swapping. And we are big on swapping in our community, even product swapping in our community. We swap habits. Okay, that's a bad habit. What can we do in place of when we recognize the bad habit is taking over? I'm going to do this instead. So then I'm still consistently filling my time, but I'm swapping it for something hopeful and positive.
I think so many of us think of habits only as being bad things. And there's so many habits that we have that are good, that feed us, that create hopeful positivity in our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ah, right.
Okay. So we have organize a little at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself some celebration when you do some little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Change your habits to hopeful habits.
Yep.
Helpful, hopeful habits.
There we go. Bit of both.
Was there anything else I missed?
No. I think you covered the basis of the lifestyle. We get into the bad habit of if we miss a day, we quit. Right? If I sat down for the weekend, I'm never going to get back up again. And part of that journey is give yourself the grace to be a human. You're going to get sick. Life's going to happen. You just have to recognize it and get back on your journey.
90% of the time I am so on point with that and good with that and give myself the grace. But boy, that 10% will stop me in my tracks for a little while until I recognize and become aware that I've fallen into a different habit one. And yep. Yeah. And there we go.
There you are.
As soon as you recognize it, become the hopeful human and let it go.
Yeah. And the struggle is internal.
Yeah, totally.
We want to look, it's their fault the dishes never get done. It's their fault the trash doesn't go out. Okay, well, what are you doing? Why are we control freaks? And did we look inward before we pointed outward?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good with this particular episode. I would love to have you come back again sometime and we'll see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
We'll check up on me.
I would love that.
See what's happening.
Show me your journey.
And also I think that there's some more digging in we could do with maybe coming up with 10 habits that you could help people with shifting, or we could talk about the macro labels, what they are and why they work.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of on our website, we actually have 3 habit pages that are free to download for anybody. Yeah. They are.
If anybody wants to find the website, it is www.hopefulsimplicity.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can get there. And we will also put that in the comments.
Yeah.
And Melissa, if you put it in the comments, your friends will see it also. So I would suggest that you add that after the show. You can add it. That'd be amazing. I have had fun.
Me too.
Good. I like to have fun on my podcast. I love to help people see that, you know, being bold isn't about necessarily being out there. And I think a lot of people, when they hear being bold, they think I've got to be loud. I've got to be in front of people. No, you're saying today, no, I can quietly be in my home and enjoy my space and work with my children to make sure that they're successful and that we as a household are successful. And that is a bold life.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being a great example of being bold, you.
Thank you. I liked being with you today.
Anything else you want to say before I do my closing little phrase?
Yes, I always remind people, you are not lazy. You are not messy. You have not found your style for success yet. Just stay hopeful.
I want you to say that one more time.
You are not lazy. You are not messy. You just haven't found your style for success yet. Just stay hopeful.
Yes. Yes. And to all of the listeners here, I thank you so much for being here with us today. Remember to always live your life out loud and be bold you. Until next week, when we have another amazing guest, we'll see ya. Da 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 da